Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today again is a very special video for me. So today I'm taking a completely different topic and I'm going to be talking about my Kibbe body typing journey. If you've never heard of David Kibbe and his body typing system and you are interested in things like fashion or interested in trying to find clothes that will actually be a much better fit for you, then I truly recommend this body typing system. It has definitely changed my fashion life. So, and I'll tell you how today. But if you are interested, I'll leave some useful links down below that really helped me when I first found the system, because it can be so confusing, especially if you're used to, like all the fruits, so like the apple, the pear, the hourglass. What is the hourglass? What fruit was that? I don't even know. But the banana, all that sort of things, or the rectangle and circle and the hourglass and all that. The Kibbe body typing system can be really difficult to understand when you start. And then again, if you're a person of color, some of the examples that are given might not resonate with you. It can be hard to understand what certain things mean for your body type. I definitely had that issue when I first started as well. So I'll just tell you straight up before you go to the links that I send you, there is an abundance of Caucasians, which is fine. It's just that if you are a person of color, then it might be a bit confusing at first. So I just wanted to clarify on what I'm saying here. Again, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that there are a lot of sort of white models and white examples in the system. What I'm saying is that, for example, if you're going to read something like sharp lips or thin lips or full lips or large eyes or wide cheekbones or wide hips, all these sorts of things can vary so much throughout different races. If you are, for example, white, thin lips is going to be different to the definition of perhaps a black person with thin lips, and then full lips as well will be different. So this is what I mean here. So I hope that this clears up any misunderstanding. So I will start. I've got my notes here so I don't forget what I'm saying. So if you see me looking down, that's why. If you do enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up for the algorithm, and also subscribe if you're looking forward to this kind of content in the future. I thought I'd start with a bit of my body history. So growing up, I guess not unlike a lot of people, I had so many issues with my body. I think I could go as far to say that there wasn't, if you asked me what I liked, I don't think I would have been able to say anything. I was teased a lot when I was younger for the way I look. And I think one of the main reasons for that is that ever since I was really young, I always kind of felt too big. Always felt too big. Like too tall, too gangly. I think gangly is the right word. I was always, when I was very young, quite skinny and long looking. And so I didn't feel very womanly or very pretty at that stage. One thing I think that stood out to me the most was the size of my hands and feet. So I have quite long fingers, and same for my feet. So in I'm a size 7 shoe in the UK, which is, I think, in America, if you're in America, it's a size 9. And so I always felt a bit self-conscious about that when I was younger. Now I don't, because now I'm about, almost 5'7", so about 5'6.5", so 168.9 centimeters tall, and my feet and my hands, they pretty much look a lot more balanced than they used to when I was younger. Either that, or I just started to love them and now I can't see what's wrong with them. Or either way is great. But when I was younger, I was sort of a size 7, so size 9 US, since I was very young, so like age 10 or so, and that did a lot to my self-esteem. I used to buy shoes that was too small on purpose. So I used to buy shoes that were like a size 5 or a size 6 and just like stuff my feet in there even though it didn't fit, and I would just be walking around all day in pain just because I didn't want to wear the shoes that fit, because I felt like they made my feet look so long, especially because I was so skinny at the time and I wasn't as tall as I am now. So yeah, my history in my body was not good as a child. Then in my early teens, I was sort of a later developer compared to the other kids. It felt like my last year of primary school. So when I was like 10, it felt like everybody had these massive boobs all of a sudden, and I didn't have any. So I didn't get boobs till I was about 13, and then I got more than I thought I would. Then I had a whole new insecurity. The whole time I was like, I want boobs, where are my boobs? And then all of a sudden, it was to the point at which I had so much boob, I didn't know what to do with it. So I ballooned to a 32, I think it was a 32E or F at the time, which was huge because I was so skinny when I was younger. Bodily wise, I was about a UK size 6'8", UK size 6'8". In America, it's a 2'4". And then my boobs were like huge and felt like I didn't fit into anything. So there was a time as well where I wasn't feeling very comfortable with my body. I was always self-conscious because I felt my hips were really narrow as well, and that didn't help. I didn't feel very balanced, and I felt like I didn't have a bum and all those sorts of stuff. So the journey was tough. It was tough. And in early adulthood, I started to get into Japanese and Korean culture. I spent a lot of time there. I lived in Japan twice in my early adulthood. You guys already know I moved there again afterwards to work. So I was there for a few years after that as well. But initially at this stage, I think just after I lived there for about 6 months, I was addicted to the culture. I was addicted to the clothes. I was addicted to the makeup. And again, there was just this running theme that had continued since childhood to this point where I just felt too big for everything. So I'd wear like all the cute clothes that all the Japanese girls would wear, and I just didn't feel like I looked the same, even when I used to lose weight. So at some points, I would feel very fluffy in my body. Now I know that's a very common trait for the body type that I have, but at the time, I had no idea, right? So I just felt super fluffy, and that just made me feel unattractive. You know, I wanted to be toned, I wanted to be smooth, I wanted to have like visible abs, I wanted to have no body fat. I thought that I would look smaller if I lost weight, and turns out it's just my bones. Turns out it's just my bones. I mean, I can obviously lose some weight, but it's the look that I was going for was something I was never going to achieve, because the girls that I was looking at, they were tiny, they were narrow, they were small, and I am long and I am broad. Well, I mean, I'm narrow but broad compared to the smaller body types, if that makes sense. And fast forward to about 2 years ago, so I stumbled across Ali Art's videos on Kibbe on YouTube. Godsend, thank you so much, Ali. I know you're not watching, but thank you. Thank you, you changed my life. And I did her body type quiz. I thought this is really interesting. I love the idea that there were, 12, 13 types of bodies out there, and they were all different and they were all beautiful, and there were ways to sort of maximize on your unique beauty. So I just fell in love with that idea, and I started to do all the research. All my Pinterest boards were just full of like Kibbe, and having a look and doing the quiz. I think it's funny as well, because in order to get the correct result on the Kibbe quizzes, you actually need to know your body and be honest about your body, and I didn't have that. So for example, I remember talking to my colleagues at work about it in Japan, and then we three of us decided to go home and do the quiz. Next day we came and I was like, oh my gosh guys, like I'm so excited, I know the answer. And then I remember talking with my friend, and I was like, guess which one I am? And I was thinking, I was ready to tell her I'm a soft natural. Now I think back and I'm laughing, because it's like, I'm not a soft natural. Soft naturals, you guys, you ladies look brilliant, you people look amazing, but it's just not my body at all. And I remember my colleague said, you're a soft dramatic, right? And I felt so offended. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was so offended, because the images that I saw of the soft dramatic ladies were not necessarily at the time my ideal self. And I think that was a time that I really realized that it wasn't necessarily about my body, but it was about how I felt about my body, because these were certified beautiful women. These are women that the world looked at and said, you are beautiful. So on the soft dramatic list, you have women like Sophia Loren, you have Monica Bellucci, you have Tyra Banks, right? I think Iman is also on that list. So these were women that I think that these are women the world says are beautiful, and I didn't want to be in the same camp with them. And I realize now that it's because I saw bits of myself that I didn't like in them, and therefore I didn't like it on them either. Does that make sense? So I saw their larger bones, I saw their larger hands, their larger feet, I saw, their prominent facial bones and things like that, and I didn't necessarily think it was that nice. And I typed myself, I did the quiz based on what I wanted to be rather than what my body actually was. So after my colleague gave me that feedback, she was like, "You're so dramatic." And I was like, "No, no, no, no." Another colleague did the same thing. The third lady that I did the test with, she also did the same thing. She said, "You're so dramatic. It's so close to you." And then I had to sit down and I decided, okay, fine, like everybody keeps saying this. Let me take this quiz again, a little bit more honestly this time. And I did, and it was the best decision ever because I now can say, yes, I am a soft dramatic, and I'm so proud to be in this camp with all these amazingly beautiful women. And I'm so glad that I followed the advice through his body typing system because it made so much sense and showed me why so many things I wanted to do with clothes and fashion, why they just, even if I got the items, my dream items, it just didn't work for me. And now that I know that I'm a soft dramatic and I know what works, for example, short skirts, short shorts, which were a staple for me when I was living in Japan. And for some reason, I always felt chubby in them. Like, I'm like, why do I look so chubby? Why do my thighs look big, even though, I've lost as much weight as I can? And I realized that it was because it's just for my bones, for the way I look, showing my vertical line, having things that are much longer, much more elongated, just make me look more beautiful, you know? And I noticed as well that I was trying to look younger than I am and it wasn't working. It just made me look like an adult trying to look like a child. And funny enough, doing the recommendations that I guess maybe a bit more mature, I feel like I now look younger. It's kind of had the opposite effect. So this has been an amazing journey, and this is just the first of the series. So I plan to do videos on things that I'm wearing as a soft dramatic, things that have worked for me, things that haven't. So yeah, if you've taken the quiz and you're a soft dramatic as well, welcome. I'd love to hear about your experiences with your body and Kibbe as well, and how you felt when you were younger versus now, how you feel about your body. I'm on the hunt as well to find some really great hairstyles because, as you know, my hair is natural. I have natural curly hair, and so I can find it sometimes I feel a little bit difficult to style my hair as a soft dramatic. I think all the recommendations show this really beautiful sort of like Hollywood 50s vibe of like the pin curls and the hair like this, and it looks so beautiful. I know it looks great on me as well because I've had my hair like that but in twists, and it was like my favorite hairstyle, but it's not something I can do all the time, and it will take a lot of heat and manipulation to do that. So I'm looking for ways that I can style my hair as a soft dramatic and feel confident in it and feel like it looks nice and complements my face as well. So yeah, this is the first of many, hopefully. Let me know what you think in the comments about this series. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.